The Fargo Dome in North Dakota, one of the loudest venues in all of college football. And today it sees the Wofford Terriers take on the #1 seed and defending champion, North Dakota State. We start at the quarterfinal stage. Both of these teams won playoff games last week to get here. The winner today goes to the semifinals against either Old Dominion or Georgia Southern. Good afternoon, everybody, from the Fargo Dome. Jonathan Yardley and Ben Lieber with you. And Ben, I don't want to go so far as to say David versus Goliath, but we might have a Goliath, certainly, in North Dakota State, #1 in the country, defending national champion, and the top-ranked defense. They're tough.
You know, it's almost biblical proportions here. You got Wofford, a very small school, very much deserved to be here, but they're playing the defending national champs in a venue that's very loud, the kind of the big school, and it's going to be quite a show today. A very good rushing offense against the #1 ranked defense in virtually every category with the Bison.
The biggest reason Wofford is here, the fullback and their running game. Eric Breitenstein leads the way, a Walter Payton Award finalist as the top player in FCS.
Yeah, he's the top player, the #1 rusher in the country at 1,900 yards. And when you watch this guy run, he gets all these yardage between the tackles. And you think, how can you not stop this guy? But he's got a lot of wiggle. They change up the schemes a lot. This triple option a little bit with toss, with some perimeter run game. Very tough to watch and very tough to play. And the guys at NDSU, the guys that we have to watch to stop this rushing attack, the interior D-line, Ryan Drevlo, Danny Lukey, the linebackers, Travis Beck, Grant Olson, Carlton Littlejohn. These guys on the inside of this defense have a tough task of bringing down Eric. It's going to be a great game and a great matchup.
All right, these two teams squaring off again. Over 100 decibels it's going to be in the Fargo Dome. We hope you can hear us. We hope the players can hear each other as Wofford and North Dakota State get set to square off. A spot in the FCS semifinals on the line. When we have kickoff, it's coming your way next. Welcome back to the Fargo Dome. North Dakota State, defending national champion, 11-1 on the year, taking on the Wofford Terriers, tri-champions of the Southern Conference, 9-3 on the year. And they are led by the very experienced head coach, Mike Ayers, his 25th year. After a couple years at East Tennessee State, he's been at Wofford a long time and led them to a lot of success with a similar crew of assistant coaches as well. On the opposite sideline, Craig Bohl, his 10th season at North Dakota State, and he has done great things with this program. The quarterfinals 2 years ago, and of course the championship in 2011. Wofford won the coin toss and elected to defer, which means, Ben, we're going to see North Dakota State's balanced offense right away.
Yeah, most teams right now are winning the toss. They'll defer, and they'll give it to North Dakota State. And like you said, Wofford's, they are very much a run-heavy offense. On the other side, the Bison, they're very balanced, and they like to run the ball. They have two very, very good running backs, and they can throw the ball as well. So kind of a little bit of a juxtaposition as different offenses score off against each other, and excited to see the Bison get started first.
Marcus Williams and Ryan Smith back deep to receive. Williams has a kickoff return for a touchdown this year, and we are underway as Smith takes it in the end zone, and North Dakota State will start at its own 25-yard line. Leading the way for North Dakota State, the quarterback Brock Jensen, a junior, 29-5 as a starter. He's got a great arm, has been a little erratic at times, but 2 touchdown passes in the playoff opener for the Bison against South Dakota State last week.
Well, I know that he had a few interceptions a little bit here and there lately, but the guy really knows how to take care of the football, extremely experienced, knows this offense well, and he's the guy for this job for the Bison right now in the playoffs.
Sam Ojori, the starting tailback for Jensen and the Bison. Ojori gets the carry and gets out to the 30-yard line before he's taken down by Mike McCrimmon. Our impact players on this side of the ball, and Ojori is one of them for the Bison, and Wofford's got some defensive tools to deal with him as well.
Yeah, you look at number 4, Ciano. He's a conference first-teamer, very, very good, very active. The other linebacker, Mike McCrimmon, very fast, smart, plays with great vision. And then James Zotto in the safety on the back end, he's going to be equally important as he holds up that safety position.
2nd and 4 here as Jensen goes to the shotgun. He'll look to throw on 2nd down, throws low for Smith, And they'll give him the catch at the 36-yard line for a first down. Now, you may notice we told you about how loud this venue would be, and you may be at home saying it doesn't sound very loud right now. That's because North Dakota State has the ball. Very involved crowd here, and they know when to get loud and when to let their guys hear each other.
You hear the term that they're a smart crowd at different venues. Well, here, the culture is all about football, and this is a smart crowd. They know the offense has to work, so they're going to be quiet and hush. When the defense comes on the field, it's going to get extremely loud.
Smith, the motion man. They give it to Ojuri again. Breaks past the line of scrimmage and gets across the 40 out to the 42. And good gains so far for the Bison in the running game. First meeting directly between these two, but the conferences, the Southern Conference and the Missouri Valley Football Conferences, have met many times. And although the Missouri Valley Football Conference has a worse record, they've been much better in the last couple of years in the head-to-head series.
Well, it's about how you finish. In the last few years, they've been much better. But yeah, I don't think that record really indicates, I think, the dominance that right now the Missouri Valley Conference has as a whole.
Ojuri again gets the call on 2nd and 3 and fights his way forward for the first down.
Well, it's just a split type of run game. And the thing is, Ojuri, and you're going to see John Crockett come in probably the next series, the other running back. Both of these guys are very good running backs. Ojuri probably more the north-south type of guy, the grinder type of running back. So, again, that was just a grinding type of play. Initial contact, kept his legs going, extra yardage.
North Dakota State out to the 47. Jensen to throw. And completes it for a short gain to Nate Moody, and it'll bring up 2nd down and about 4.
And so far we're seeing that balanced offense we talked about a little bit. Opening series, couple runs, pass. They haven't even got to 3rd down yet. They set up one run with a fake ghost reverse. So look for that later in the ball game. Maybe they hand that ball off. But I like the play calling so far, and they're marching down the field just like this offense has done all year long.
Yeah, this is what we see. Not a big play team. They're just going to take solid 3 to 7 yards on just about every play. Extra blocker in the backfield, but Jensen back to throw. Looks outside for Smith, has him into Wofford territory at the 37.
Well, and you see the arm strength that to talk about with Brock Jensen. We know about his experience in this offense, but he can make these outward cuts. A man-to-man route, he times it perfectly on the little hitch route comeback. Very nice job by Ryan Smith coming back to the football after he makes his initial break.
And so far, North Dakota State as advertised. They'll do a good mix, run pass, and again, they don't lose yards very often. Ojuri gets the call. Not a lot of running room in the middle of the line, but he dives forward and ended up getting about 4 yards on the play.
Well, I think what you're seeing right now is just a little bit of the line dominance. They talk about all the time. You got to win the football game in the trenches. And so far on this opening drive, I know a lot of offenses, and NDSU is no different. They like to script a lot of their first few plays, and so the guys are very familiar with the plays as they come out, so they don't have all nerves to deal with. But right now, they're winning the war at the line of scrimmage, and that's why some of these plays are just getting that push. Just so the running back just can get some extra yards by falling forward.
Better than 6 yards of play on this drive for the Bison. 2nd down here. Jensen to throw again. This time gets rushed. He's going to step up and is near the first down. I think he got it.
Well, this time Wofford does a good job on the back end. As Jensen looks down the field, all the guys are covered. They don't keep their blitz lanes as they rush an extra guy, and that's what you can't do, especially in the middle of the field. Between the tackles, you have to keep your rush lanes. If you're going to make him go anywhere as a right-handed quarterback, make him go to the left.
So a first down. The ball just shy of the 25-yard line. Tight end Brune into the backfield as a blocker. And he leads the way for Ojuri. Breaking it. Touch. No, he's just short. Saving tackle at the last second at the 1-yard line.
Well, that's kind of the dominance that we talked about here. It's just a little counter play, and they get a hat on a hat, and they're driving the defensive lineman back. It's very difficult for a defensive player when you don't even get touched as a running back. So Zotto comes up, makes a touchdown-saving tackle, but first and goal on the 1.
Ojori still the tailback. Andrew Grothman in as the fullback. And Brune there to help as well. It's Ojuri. Touchdown, Bison. Dominating opening drive, and North Dakota State goes on top.
Well, they come out with the opening series and they said, listen, Wofford, you're going to come into our place. We're going to test you on the line, see how you guys can match up against our strength up front. And on opening drive, as you see on that touchdown, it was an easy touchdown as the front line is just pushing the Wofford defense back. Easy score for Ojuri.
The extra point from Adam Keller is good. And the heavy favorite and defending champion, North Dakota State, off to a perfect start as they go 75 yards in 10 plays. Ojuri with the touchdown. The Bison have the lead. Wofford's Terriers get a chance to answer when we come back right after this. Back here at the FCS quarterfinals, #1 seed and defending champion North Dakota State cruises on its first drive, bashing its way downfield, and Sam Ojuri taking it in the final yard to put the Bison on top.
Well, they made it look easy. They start off the game, they come out, they had 7 rushes, 3 passes, 7.5 yards per play. You know, if Wofford, I understand that this is a bigger environment that they're used to, but they're going to have to make some adjustments. That defensive line, that front 7 is going to have to play a little bit more stout, a little bit more physical if they want to hold up. So let's see how they come out after this series and make some adjustments on defense.
So Mike Ayers looking on as Ray Smith and Brad Nosek are back deep to return the kick. It's a short one, and Nosek fields it at the 9 and gets up across the 25. So a good start for Wofford in the return game. And now we finally get a look at the Terriers' option offense, and that man, Eric Breitenstein, the fullback, 247 yards last week. He got taken out in the 3rd quarter.
Man, I am excited to see this guy play. I've watched him on film. He's a big guy, kind of a lumbering running back. They call him a fullback, but man, he gets it done. Between the tackles, runs low, runs hard, shifty, exciting player.
They go to him right off the bat, and he gets forward for a good gain. The other thing to watch with Wofford, as we're going to look at some of the Terriers' impact players, and it's Breitenstein and his merry men.
Well, you got to give it up to the offensive line. Obviously, when you only throw the ball about 10 times a game, everybody knows you're going to run, and they do it better than anybody else in the country. So these offensive linemen, Jared Singleton, anchored by him in the center, these are very good players. That's the whole reason that Breitenstein and these other running backs have so much success.
He got 6 yards on first down. This time it's Donovan Johnson up the middle, and he breaks it big into North Dakota State territory and across the 40-yard line. Big carry for the junior from McDonough, Georgia.
Well, again, you're going to see this all game long. A bulk of their running plays happen in between the tackles. They pull a guard, they create different angles and different seams. And as you can see there, just by pulling some guys and creating a different surface, these guys are smart enough in the running back position to make the tight cuts right off the backside of these linemen for big gains like that.
Wofford to the 39, and as you see, they will run the option from many different formations. Right now going from the shotgun and trying to deal with the crowd noise. They get the play off. I think it was a bit of a busted play, and the quarterback, Brian Cass, dives forward. And that's the other talking point, Ben. We weren't sure who would come out at quarterback. We've seen 3 different guys. Cass has been dealing with a hip pointer since they played Samford in early November, but he gets the start.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. When you scout this team, they use all 3 quarterbacks. Michael Weimer, James Lawson, Brian Cass. they're all very capable of running this offense because they don't really ask them to pass very much. So as long as you understand when and when not to give the ball and run the option, you can play quarterback in this offense.
They'll leave it with Breitenstein, and he finds room up the middle, but there's a flag on the play, and it's blown dead at the line of scrimmage. We'll wait for the call from John Gerbino, our referee.
False start. Number 83 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
The Northeast Conference provided the officials for today, and it took away what could have been a big gain for Breitenstein.
Well, it was shaping up to be another big run by Breitenstein, and I think he would have gotten tackled. But again, this offense is very tricky. You know what they're going to do. You know that they're a triple option team. You know that they're going to run the football, and people just have a very hard time figuring it out as they change up the surfaces a lot.
Cass keeps it here. He has a pitch man, going to take it himself, and loses the football. It's been a problem for them. Who's got it? North Dakota State. Cole Jurek fell on it. It's the 7th fumble lost in the last 3 games now by Wofford.
You're going to sit here and watch. This is a counter option where they bring a guy from the backside. And like you said, they've had a hard time holding on to the football lately. And Travis Beck, one of the guys that we talked about, that's going to have to step up with his linebacking core, does a great job of securing the quarterback with his right arm, punching out the ball with his left. And if you're Wofford right now, you got to be happy about moving the football, but you have to protect it, especially on the road.
Yeah, you can't give up free possessions in this one. Turnovers cost them when they lost to Northern Iowa in the playoffs last year. It cost them when they lost to South Carolina in what could have been an upset this year. There's our first look at John Crockett, the North Dakota State tailback. He falls forward for a short gain. And now we get to see if Wofford's defense has been successful in making some adjustments after the first series.
Yeah, let's see how the defensive line and really the front seven, who pretty much got mashed on in that first series, how they're going to come out. If they can be more stout, control that line of scrimmage. If not, it's going to be another grinder all the way down the field, as North Dakota State is #1 in the country in time of possession, and that's how they do it.
Bison with the lead and the ball at the moment, as Jensen checks at the line of scrimmage. He's going to throw here on second down. Hit as he threw, and it was incomplete off the hands of Andrew Oakland. But there, Wofford got some pressure, and I believe it was that man, Alvin Ciano.
Well, and a good job when North Dakota State, they audibled, and so did the defense for Wofford. All the guys turned around, they checked the defense, gave them a different look as well, and I think really was the difference between a big play and not a big play, so they get pressure on the quarterback, incomplete pass.
3rd and 9, you see the numbers. North Dakota State, one of the tops anywhere in FCS in 3rd down conversions. Jensen to throw, under pressure, taken down. Alvin Ciano got to him. He didn't practice much of the week due to injury, but he's coming through when it counts.
Yeah, we didn't know going into this game if Ciano was actually going to play. Didn't practice much, has a little bit of a hammy issue, but they call him the best natural rusher, and you see it right there. Working on the edge, uses his hands, keeping those feet going. Great job with his hips and a great finish.
Nosek calls for a fair catch and makes it at the 41-yard line. And that's where Wofford will start its second possession. So the fumble ends up not hurting the Terriers too much, as their defense forces a 3-and-out. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Wofford's second crack at it. North Dakota State 7, Wofford nothing. Here, they are down 7-0, but they moved the ball well their first time, then fumbled. We'll see how they do on this drive. Still Brian Cass at quarterback, and he's trying to change it. The ball goes to Johnson. He's got a couple of yards before he's taken down. Carlton Littlejohn, one of those on the tackle.
Well, and you're going to notice, we talked about in the beginning of the football game that Wofford is a triple option team. If you look at them, they're called the wing bone. But when you watch the games, they give you a whole bunch of different looks. They'll come out in wing bone, they'll come out in gun pistol, they'll come out in pro eye. They give you a lot of looks but still run the football, which makes them so effective and very tough to stop.
Breitenstein, the lone tailback, alongside Cass. And Breitenstein keeps it up the middle and kept his footing to get near the first down marker. Looked like he got an extra 3 yards after contact there.
Yeah, and they do a good job. Again, you don't see a lot of pulling guards when you see a triple option, but these guys do. As you see Temeko Gregory come across, a nice seal block on the inside. And again, these running backs, Breitenstein, Lucas, Donovan Johnson, they all do a good job of understanding where the blocks are going to be and making the tight cuts right off the backside of the lineman.
3rd and short. Wofford will go from the shotgun. It's Johnson, hit hard, but he falls forward and has the first down, just barely into North Dakota State territory.
Well, again, you know it's 3rd and short, and you know they're pretty much going to run the football. And again, it shows you again just how tough it is to stop these guys when you know it's going to be the run. So a nice little drive. They dodged a bullet with that fumble. Defense came out with a big stop for the Terriers, and now they're starting to put together a little drive here.
Breitenstein and Johnson flanking Cass. And Cass keeps it, pitches to Johnson. It slowed him down a little bit, and he tries to turn the corner, and he can't do it.
The thing I love about this defensive play right here, it's very fundamentally sound. You'll see on the defensive left side here, Cole Jurek, number 93. He does a good job of feathering the quarterback, and right when he pitches the football, he gets lateral. He doesn't go up the field, he gets lateral to string this whole play out. And that way the corners can come up and make plays, the safeties can run the alleys. So very good job by Cole, very well coached, and that's the one thing about this defense. They're very well coached, they play technically sound, and they're very fast and physical.
A short 1-yard gain on the play, 2nd and 9. Misdirection give to Nosek, and he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Grant Olson stood him up for no gain.
Now it's just such a slow developing play. It was a counter here, a counter there, and if you don't have the time and you're not dominating the line of scrimmage and creating holes, that's just too much time to have an inside running game. So I don't look for these guys to run that play again.
Carlton Littlejohn had the first hit. Olson was right there with him. It's 3rd and 9. And again, we still don't expect a pass on this play, probably, although 3 wide receivers are in. It is the run up the middle, and Johnson is stopped for no gain. And again, adjustments for the defense working on the second series.
Well, it's a great job by Grant Olson, number 34, their stud middle linebacker. He sees the hole and he doesn't hesitate. That's the thing. You got to go with your tendencies in football. If the tendency shows you that you're going to run the football, you just guess run and you go downhill. 4th and 9.
Now Cass is in the shotgun. He was an outstanding punter in high school. There's a very good chance he's going to kick this, and they didn't recognize it. And here is the punt by Cass. And he may have overhit it. It's going to bounce inside the 10. It checks up. And Wofford downs it at the 1-yard line. A 47-yard punt. That was his average as a junior in high school. And that's perfect field position football.
Great call by you. And the thing is, the reason why that works is that Wofford goes for it a lot on 4th down, so it makes it very tricky.
North Dakota State will start at its own 1-yard line with the lead when we come back. Back here in Fargo, North Dakota, last week here, the Bison dominating the South Dakota State Jackrabbits, their 2nd meeting of the year. John Crockett, Sam Ojuri, and the running game had it going most of the day. Brock Jensen accounted for 3 touchdowns. This one he ran in himself, and he also threw for 2, both to this man, the tight end Garrett Brune. North Dakota State 28, South Dakota State 3. Right now, though, North Dakota State has the lead, but the Bison backed up at their own 1-yard line after the punt by the Wofford quarterback, Brian Cass. Crucial point early in this game. And just plowing forward is Jensen. He dives out to about the 3-yard line.
Yeah, you typically see this when you're backed up. You got to give yourself a little space. So the safe play is quarterback draw, just to try to get you some more breathing room.
Now Wofford plays a 3-4 defensive alignment. It's also called a 50 defense because the outside linebackers will push up, almost putting 5 on the defensive line. And it's a bit of a different look. North Dakota State did see it a couple times during the season. 2nd and 8 here. Jensen's give goes to Ojuri, and he's hit hard at the 5.
You know, speaking about their defense, it's a different look, but it's something that the Bison have seen before. But here's the interesting thing is, Wofford rarely plays man-to-man. That's pretty much unheard of. Their whole theory is, let's keep the ball in front of us, don't let anything get behind us, and that can happen sometimes when you gamble and go man-to-man. So it's a pretty predictable defense, but they play it very well.
3rd and 5. 3rd and 5, 4 wideouts in the game. Short throw by Jensen, and the catch is made for the first down. And it was Zach Bra, one of their leading receivers out of Rosemount, Minnesota, with the catch.
Well, whenever you go 5 wides, it's always kind of hard to figure out where the ball's going to throw. But you know it's going to come out quick. So once you see the quarterback set his feet and look, you don't have a lot of time to look off. So for these guys, if they get in that situation again, wherever he's looking, they should start breaking laterally and try to pick off that ball.
So now the Bison with breathing room and a chance to do what they do best on offense, control the clock. This is Ojuri running to the right. He's backed up there and taken down at the line of scrimmage. Philip LeGrand kind of forced him back into the field, and Stefan Shelton, the corner, made the tackle.
I think you're starting to see the Wofford defense calm down a little bit. You know, the game nearing the end of the first quarter, I think they've kind of gotten through this big environment, this big stage, this loud crowd, and they got driven down the first drive, but they really responded here so far late in this first quarter.
1 quarter in the books, and it is poised to be a tight one. North Dakota State 7, Wofford 0. 2nd quarter action coming your way when we come back right after this. Welcome back to the Fargo Dome. This was the scene before the game. Everybody has their Bison Game Day app holding up flashing green and gold at the darkened stadium as the Bison made their way out onto the field. It was quite a scene. Probably good for Wofford. They hadn't quite come out of the locker room yet.
Yeah, it was probably best that they stayed in the locker room for all the pageantry before the game.
And we take an updated look at the FCS quarterfinal bracket. And the other game has gone final. Georgia Southern, a huge 4th quarter, coming from behind to beat Old Dominion 49-35. That was in Norfolk. And that means if North Dakota State wins, you could have a rematch of last year's semifinal, North Dakota State and Georgia Southern. Last year, the Bison put a whooping on them, 35-7.
And if Wofford wins, then you've got 2 teams, number 1 and number 2 rushing offenses in the country going against each other. So that would be a great matchup as well.
Their conference foes, and that would be an interesting one. That would be at Georgia Southern, of course, as one of the seeded teams in the tournament. 2nd and 10 for North Dakota State from its own 15. It is a jet sweep to Ryan Smith, and well handled by the secondary. That was Josh Holt, who fought off a block to make the tackle.
Wow, if you're a defensive player and you're a defensive back and you want to see how to get off a block, watch number 31, Josh Holt, at the bottom of the screen. We kind of miss it there, but it was a clinic on how to get off a blocker and a receiver. So great job by him shutting down that reverse.
Holt, a junior from Sandy Creek High School in Georgia. Already's had a couple tackles on the game, and he's forced 3rd and long, as that was a big loss, back to the 12.
Now look for Vra again on the outside here.
Jensen looks that way. The pass might be picked. It is picked. Blake Wiley at the 36. And Blake Wiley could go to the house. All the way for a Wofford touchdown. Blake Wiley, 35 yards. North Dakota State's only loss this year. They threw 2 pick sixes. And Wofford has a chance to tie the game.
Well, I got to give credit to Blake Wiley for the touchdown, the run after catch, but Brock Jensen gets man-to-man coverage. Again, they go with Vra on the outside, pretty much their third down and long go-to guy, and he severely underthrows him. He's looking that way the whole time. Doesn't even get it out there, doesn't get enough oomph on it. But great job by Blake Wiley of catching the ball and turning it in for 6.
Did you see Mike McCrimmon, the middle linebacker, throwing a block there? That was a good return game. On the play, Billy Turner, the outstanding Bison left tackle, was shaken up. He's walking off at the moment. As Wofford tries to tie it on the right foot of Casey Redfern. And there's a slight delay as they make sure Turner is off the field. 3rd interception of the year for Wiley, senior out of Charlotte. And the extra point is good. So we have a 7-7 game, and we talked about turnovers maybe swinging things. I don't know that we envisioned it being quite that significant, because the Wofford defense now has a whole new set of confidence.
Well, in the whole game we've been talking about the Bison defense, and right now Wofford's showing up. And I think they got confused a little bit because we talked about it earlier. Wofford doesn't play a lot of man-to-man. And right there, they went man-to-man. And I think that Brock Jensen just wasn't expecting it. Gets a little bit of pressure in his face. Still has time to set his feet and throw and get something on that ball. But I think the confusion with the man-to-man coverage really threw him off. Underthrows it. And again, Blake Wiley, great job of catching the ball, converting it. All the guys on defense turn around, getting their blocks, just like you said. So great job of team defense right there for Wofford.
You look at Wofford, the 2nd smallest school in FCS with an enrollment of 1,600 out of Spartanburg, South Carolina. 3-way tie for the Southern Conference Championship this year. And there's a look at Brock Jensen on the right with the eye black. Josh Roseborough applied the hit, but you were right. Jensen blocked on the outside side of the field, and the Wofford defense could tell the ball was going there almost from the snap.
Well, you go back and watch some film of the Bison offense, and when it's 3rd and long, they really look to Vra a lot. And when it's 3rd and short, 3rd and medium, they're kind of looking to Ryan Smith a little bit. So,
and if Ben and I can tell that predictability from like 2 game tapes, you know the Wofford coaches have seen all 11.
Yeah, you know, every team has some tells. They have some tendencies, and right now, if you're in 3rd and long, I think you got to look away from Vra.
Marcus Williams from the goal line. He's very dangerous as a return man. He's hit inside the 25-yard line, and North Dakota State will start from its own 24. So a little bit of confidence maybe shaken on the Bison sideline. They went 3 and out. Then started from their own 1, moved it a bit, and threw a pick 6. So we've got a 7-7 game. And Wofford's defense has been on the field a lot. But I think right now their adrenaline, they're feeling good about it.
Well, you talk about the big mo, right? The big momentum. Who's got the momentum? It's a game of ebbs and flows and peaks and troughs. And right now, Wofford's got the big mo. You know, and you got to keep it in a place like this because it can get loud and the momentum can shift very quickly.
Jensen under center on 1st down and gives to Crockett running to the left-hand side. Got 1 block, tried to hurdle his own man, and was stopped short of the 30-yard line. But it's a good gain of 6 on 1st down.
I want you to take a look at this block by number 40, Andy Grothman. He comes out and absolutely hammers the defensive player, so much so he actually gets in the way.
Yeah, Andy, stay down after you hit it.
He actually got in the way because he did such a good job of decleating the player. But, you know, it's a great block. It just wasn't executed to the point where he got out of the way.
He was getting up to hit another block, and that's when he slowed things down. 2nd and 4 for North Dakota State. Still very deliberate on offense. Crockett up the middle. They'll alternate series usually with the running backs, and he gets out across the 35-yard line with ease for a 1st down. Crockett and O'Jury, we told you, shared the carries and very similar numbers on the season. O'Jury a few more carries, Crockett a few more yards, but otherwise almost identical.
You know, this day and age in football, it seems like everybody's got a little bit of a running back stable, and the Bison have 2 very good guys. I think Crockett's probably a little bit more of a slasher, a little quicker with his feet, but both guys very effective.
Crockett, a sophomore out of Minneapolis, is the tailback at the moment. 1st and 10. And he's hit hard in the backfield and taken down. It was Philip LeGrand, the outside linebacker, who got in there.
Well, you can't give up penetration like this as the guy on the edge. He basically just came unblocked. Good job of just seeing it and going. On defense, you sometimes just have to go with your instincts, and when you're unblocked, go make a play, man.
LeGrand out of Richmond Senior High School in Rockingham, North Carolina. Loss of 2 on the play. Jensen, design quarterback draw up the middle. Eludes the official and gets out near the first down marker. He's going to be just short of it at the 45, but a big gain.
Well, who was the guy on the play before? Philip LeGrand. He comes again off the edge. He comes untouched, a little delayed blitz. Brock does a good job of just feeling the pressure and just running up the field. So Wofford, who doesn't play man very much, they don't blitz very much. They're doing a little bit different scheme right now. On the interception, they played man, and now they're starting to bring the blitz.
Yeah, I think that play was designed to take advantage of some of that aggression, and obviously did so. Injured player down for Wofford, so we have a timeout as North Dakota State prepares to face 3rd and 1. It is Josh Holt who ended up making the tackle on that play and has been busy in the early going, who is down at the moment. Both teams have had injury problems, but they pretty much said to us, everybody's going to play. They may have a few little minor things going on. Brock Jensen has some ligaments strained in his wrist on his non-throwing hand. They're all going to play through it because it's that time of year where you can't afford to miss any action.
Well, and, you know, the nice thing is that, you know, before the last game against South Dakota State, you know, they had a week off. So it is nice at this point in the season to get that break. I mean, much deserved as being the #1 ranked team in the country. So gives you guys some time to heal, and then no big injuries from last week.
3rd and 1 at the 45. 2 fullbacks in the game. They messed up the play call, and Jensen is taken down at the 40. He ran into his tailback, and it's going to be a big loss on the play.
Well, obviously some miscommunication there on exactly what the play was going to be. He fumbled his snap slightly, but I believe he even turned the wrong way too. So big play right there on 3rd down that they can't convert. They're normally very good at making these conversions, and right now, again, we talked about this momentum, and Wofford's got it, and the Bison have to figure something out because very quickly this game, with this running offense with Wofford, they can control this momentum and keep it going into halftime.
Ben LeCompte on to punt it. He had to wait for them to get 11 men on the field. Now he kicks it away. It's a good one. Brad Nosek will let it bounce, and it bounces backward the wrong way for North Dakota State and is down at the Wofford 19-yard line. So that's where the Tar Heels will start, but as Ben said, the big mo is all with Wofford right now, as they've gotten back in the game with the pick 6. They'll see if they can get their offense moving as well. That'll be after this break. Here's a look at how the Terriers got the ball back. Their defense making some big plays. As quarterfinals, Wofford 7, North Dakota State 7 from the Fargo Dome, where it is loud as Wofford takes over. Now, a reminder, the most revered award in college football will be presented tonight on ESPN. Who will join one of the game's most exclusive fraternities? We'll find out with the Heisman Trophy presentation tonight at 8 on ESPN.
Colin Klein.
Prediction?
Colin Klein.
No bias there whatsoever. Wofford from its own 19. And Breitenstein has the ball, fights off a couple of tackles, and gets out to the 26. That was another slow developing one, and Breitenstein ends up with 7 yards on the play.
Well, I think you see a little bit of what he brings to the table. Everybody knows he's going to get the football. He's very good at running between the tackles, but he runs with such a low center of gravity, does a great job with his shoulder pads above his toes, and you can see these guys have a hard time bringing him down because he's big, he's physical, he's not real fast, but he has enough wiggle and enough power, obviously with 1,900 yards on the year. Very good.
3 wide receivers in the game, but it goes to Johnson up the middle. He's only got a yard, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 2 for Wofford, which, as you mentioned, 2nd leading rushing team in the country behind Georgia Southern, both predominantly option teams out of the Southern Conference. And this crowd going to try and turn up the volume here in a 3rd and short situation. just over 100 at the moment on the decibel meter. It's Breitenstein. He's hit at the line. He gets past everybody and gets the first down. Talk about yards after contact. This guy has it.
Well, just like the run he had before, does a great job of running with the shoulders above his toes. But the other thing I like about him too is when he makes his cuts. As you can see him there with his offensive lineman. I mean,
he's shaved the beard since that picture, by the way.
Why?
He's decided he needed to look presentable for the trophy presentation in a week.
I love the beard. I wish he would have kept the beard, but you know, he's rocking the mustache now. Also a pretty ultra cool look.
Sweep to Johnson. He's got running room and gets across the 40-yard line. And Wofford is starting to roll a little bit.
Well, what I was going to touch on again with Eric was his running style and how he makes his cuts. He keeps his hips square. They never really seem to turn towards the sidelines. And as a running back, they always talk about going north and south. And that's the best way you can do it. Keep your hips square, keep them always pointing up the field. So when you start turning your legs, you're always picking up yardage.
Breitenstein, a fifth-year senior, is now in the top 5 in NCAA FCS history for career rushing yards. 26 so far today. They give it to Breitenstein here, and he's got the first down out to the 45-yard line. Took a big shot, but held on to the football.
It'll be interesting to see where the spot is. It actually looks like they're going to spot it just shy of the first down. But great job by TJ White, number 61, kind of pulling across, keeping his shoulders square and getting a body on a body. And again, Breitenstein does most of the work.
I really don't agree with that spot. I saw the linesman at the 45. And they pushed him back, so they're going to come out and measure as it's very close with the ball at the 44. Again, Northeast Conference officiating crew today, always a neutral conference for the FCS postseason. Very close, and they do give it to him.
So there you go. Your eyes did not deceive you.
I would have spotted it by another yard, but that's why I'm not an official.
That's very close.
They may have hit it right.
Yeah.
I was going by where the linesman was standing, and he got to the 45. At any rate, it's a first down for Wofford. We're almost halfway through the second quarter still. Both these teams running a lot of clock. And flags at the line of scrimmage again, and Cass, the quarterback, is not happy.
Number 75 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Second false start call against the Terriers today.
And they're a team that's actually really good of not having penalties called against them. Nationally ranked, I believe 7th in the country in penalties. So this is a little bit against the grain of what they're used to. Normally they're a very disciplined football team.
Just over 4 penalties a game on average by Wofford, and usually they're of the 5-yard variety. So first and 15. It's Breitenstein. Got by 1, couldn't get by the second man, and he ends up picking up about 4 on the play.
And that time they brought another guard. They like to pull these guys up front, and he actually just beat the guard around and didn't really have a chance to set up any blocking plays right there. So good stop right here by NDSU, and let's see what they can do on second and long.
And Breitenstein twitched early, and that's why the flags are flying. And so it's going to be a third 5-yard penalty against Wofford.
Full start, number 7 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Do you think that 100-level decibel meter is affecting this Wofford offense right now?
It's tough to say because it's been a different guy each time. So that'll bring up second and 16. And there you go. It's like standing next to a snowmobile, we're told. Breitenstein this time stopped just past the line. He dives forward to the 41, but it's an uphill battle right now for Breitenstein.
I think the beautiful thing about watching this Wofford offense is if you never watched them play, you're sitting here thinking, okay, we're at 3rd and 13. Why are they running a fullback dive?
It's what they do.
It's because that's who they are. That's what they do. That's what they're very good at. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic here as we watch this game unfold. Is they're very uncharacteristic, as they even like to go for it on fourth down a lot.
Nosek had to relay the play to his wide receiver, talking into his ear hole. Option. Cass keeps it and dives forward, but he's well short of the first down, out near the 48-yard line. And this will be one of the situations where Wofford would appear likely to punt, but you never know for sure. It's 4th and 6.
And it looks like they're not going to punt. They're not bringing their punting team out. You know, we could have another little surprise punt by the quarterback, but again, uncharacteristic regular football that you're used to watching. These guys, they treat it like a Madden football game where you just don't like to punt.
Cass backed up again before the snap, and he kicks it again. Nobody back there. Wofford trying to cover it inside the 5, and it's marked down at the 3. They marked it at the 3.
Outstanding footwork. Way to put on those brakes.
It was Jeff Ashley, the wide receiver. He got 2 feet down.
And you hear the crowd reacting as they're watching the replay. They think maybe his right foot touched that white line.
See, my point is,
woo, that's close.
But he's got 2 feet well down. Why does he have to stay out?
Well, I don't know if he didn't have control. If he had control.
We'll take a break. North Dakota State 7, Wofford 7. Back after this. Back here at the Fargo Dome, FCS quarterfinal, 7-7 late second quarter, and a little bit of controversy on this punt. Did his foot touch the end zone, and should it have come out to the 20?
Well, it's awfully close, and it's tough to tell, but we heard from the replay guys upstairs that he's all good, man. He got his he kept his right foot out of the end zone, maintained control of the football. Great job by Wofford. Twice now that they pinned him back with that quarterback punt.
Cass had only punted 3 times this season. He's punted twice today, and NDSU starts at its own 3. O'Jury dives out near the 5-yard line for a short gain on first down. Second time North Dakota State has started inside its own 5 in this game.
Yeah, it's really been kind of a game of field position, and Wofford's winning that game right now. But you look at the Bison historically this season, they don't have any problem controlling the clock, using their balanced offense to march down the football field, because they've done it time and time again.
2nd and 8. Jensen will go from the shotgun. And he runs to the right-hand side. Designed run. He's got some yardage, and I think he's got the first down out to the 14. He doesn't carry it a lot, but he's pretty effective when he does.
Well, it's a great call right there, because whenever you run with the quarterback, you actually gain an extra blocker. So they get 2 guys out on the right-hand side. They do a great job of sealing off that left defensive side. And, you know, all they need right now is some breathing room. They're not looking for a big play. They're just looking to get a first down and get their back off the end zone.
The Bison lead the FCS in time of possession. They've got around 14 minutes in this game, as we go under 4 minutes in the first half. 7-7. Jensen pumped, looked, lost his receiver. He broke a tackle from Ciano, and then he gets taken down.
A great job of coverage there on the defensive left side, offensive right side. But had Brock gone through his progressions, Vra was completely open on the bottom numbers over here, and I think he got a little antsy, thinking the rush maybe was coming from the backside, so he pulled it down. But if he goes through his progressions there, he had Vra wide open.
Kendall Bratcher on the tackle for Wofford. It's 2nd and 7. And again, running the clock all the way down here. They've only got 3 minutes left in the half. To give again to O'Jury, slowed down at the line. Ciano hit him low, and it's a minimal gain on the play.
Well, here we are again, a 3rd down. You know, somewhat of a long situation, kind of the intermediate. Are they going to look for Ryan Smith in the slot on maybe a quick screen, let him do what he does best, run after catch? Or do you try to push the ball again to Vra on the outside, which the last time they did that, it was a pick 6.
Vra's at the bottom of your screen. Smith is in the slot at the top of the screen. NDSU 1 of 4 today on 3rd downs. And they give Smith a lot of room. Jensen going to tuck it and run, and he has the first down, and he has a lot more. Brock Jensen breaks it up the middle, and he's finally brought down by James Zotto, but that one might have turned the momentum.
Well, absolutely, just a great job of blocking by everybody up front on the second level, and at the end of this run, as Brock basically goes untouched, Ryan Smith in the slot gets a key block up here on the safety, which allows him to get extra yardage. So great design, great execution, and like you said, now you're starting to see a little bit of that momentum shift.
39 yards on the play. It makes Jensen the game's leading rusher, and that's despite being sacked once or twice. He's at 54 yards in the half. Under 2 minutes to go. Play action. Jensen wants the deep ball, doesn't have it. Floats it upfield under pressure, and it's out of bounds, incomplete. So 1:39 to go here. North Dakota State is at the Wofford 43. They thinking field goal, or they thinking touchdown?
I think you got to think touchdown. I mean, you still have some time left on the clock. You know, very, very easily you could march down the field. Plenty of time with this offense. You know, not a big strike offense, but they're potent enough with, just like we saw, they can run the play, have a quarterback run for big yards. So you got to think touchdown here.
3 timeouts available to both teams late in this first half. It's Ojuri running left, and he's hit by Bratcher after a gain of 4. And we do get a timeout called by North Dakota State.
Timeout. North Dakota State, first charge timeout.
Well, again, I think you just have to figure out a way, clock management-wise, to put this ball in the end zone with not very much time left on the clock. So it'll be interesting to see what they call here, 3rd and medium, trying to get a first down again, but they got 2 timeouts left. So interesting call here.
We'll take the timeout with them. Wofford, North Dakota State, 7 up. We're back after this with 3rd down and 6 for North Dakota State at the 39. Hey, look, a sign for you.
Hey, how about that? I get some love here in Fargo.
I don't know if it was love. And Stephon Shelton made contact early with Andrew Oakland, the receiver. It wasn't by much, but they threw the flag. Here's a look at it.
Well, and you can clearly see he
Pass interference. Number 2 in the defense. Penalty being forced to spotted a foul. First down.
Well, a player that they say is a physical corner got a little too physical there as he jumps over the back before the ball got there.
And if he had made contact with the ball, he might have gotten away with it, but his arms were all around the receiver. I think the ball hit him in the helmet. It'll bring up 1st and 10 for North Dakota State at the 33. Minute 27 to play in the half. Jensen from the shotgun. Going to take off and run again. They slow him up, and Ciano and McCrimmon combine to take him down after a 2-yard gain. And North Dakota State going to use its 2nd timeout of the half here.
Do you think Ciano and McCrimmon said, hey, maybe we should learn to watch this quarterback as he's in the gun? Twice down this drive, they've got him with the quarterback run game, but not that time. I think they had learned their lesson.
Well, Jensen's legs have, dare I say, been the X factor in this first half for North Dakota State, allowing them to move the ball when Wofford seems to be reacting well to the straightforward runs.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about his arm, but right now it's Brock Jensen and his legs, but we got to talk about this Wofford defense. Everybody I think around the country watching this game was talking about North Dakota State's defense. And it's Wofford coming up, making the pick 6, adjusting well after the first drive, and really they're the defense to be talking about right now.
Well, and last week they beat New Hampshire 23-7. Those 7 points were scored against the offense. This defense hasn't given up points since the South Carolina game. As you look at Mike Ayers, 4-time Southern Conference Coach of the Year awards from the media. And he has his team very quietly in position to spring an upset here. 7-7 late first half. They're going to try and keep the Bison off the scoreboard before the break. Wofford should get the ball to start the second half, by the way, as it's 2nd and 8 here. Jensen has all day to throw. Looking deep for Vra. Wiley is there. It's incomplete. There was contact, but no flag on the play.
Yeah, everybody's looking for contact as Vra kind of ran this post corner route. But I believe it was a good job of getting his back turned to the receiver as he looks back for the football. I think had he face guarded him and kind of pushed him and made contact, I think you had an argument there, but good job by him of turning back around.
Yeah, he got the head around at the last moment. Otherwise, it probably would have been called. 3rd and 8. Jensen to throw, looking to that same side, and this time there was contact and a flag. And the receiver, Oakland, actually fell down, and Wiley ran into him for the penalty.
Yeah, I think Blake knows it too. He had a great technique on that last play, but this play gets his feet caught up and too much contact there as he pushed the receiver down.
Pass interference, number 3 on the defense. Penalty 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So that's a big one because it gives North Dakota State, which was on 3rd and long, 3 cracks at the end zone here after they spot it at the 16-yard line. 5th penalty against Wofford for 36 yards. They average less than 5 per game on the season. And North Dakota State, as you see the graphic, unpenalized. That might be the difference right now if North Dakota State can get on the board before halftime. They're at the 16, 1st and 10. Jensen, straight drop again. Steps up, throws, touchdown! Zach Vra.
And that's the arm strength that we talked about with Brock Jensen. Great job of eluding the rush. Great presence to step up in the pocket, deliver a strike to Vra. Puts the Bison now up, possibly up 14-7.
10 plays, 97 yards, 3 minutes and 59 seconds on the touchdown drive for North Dakota State. Extra point is knocked through, and the Bison now lead it 14-7. Both of their scoring drives have been 10 plays and at least 75 yards and at least 3 minutes 59 seconds. They are a ball control team.
They really are, and the thing now is that Wofford has a minute left with 3 timeouts. There's still some time for these guys to go down and at least get a field goal out going into halftime. So there's no guarantees that they got the last score before the half.
I predict they will still be running the ball. The key plays from that last drive were the opposite quarterback, Brock Jensen, with this big run up the middle on 3rd down.
Well, it was really all about Jensen that whole drive. They get him out of the back of the end zone with the quarterback run game. They do it again on the quarterback run game. This time he eludes the rush by E.J. Speller, steps up in the pocket, sets his feet, and shows off that strong arm that we've talked about in the beginning of the game.
Jensen, 2 years ago in the quarterfinals, his first postseason as a starter, had the fumble in overtime against Eastern Washington that ended their season so heartbreakingly. Last year he was playing through turf toe, had a great postseason, led them to the championship, trying to do it again this year. And like many of North Dakota State stars, he is only a junior.
Yeah, it is absolutely amazing to look at their roster. #1 team in the country, and only have 7 seniors on the whole roster. So unbelievable team set up for the next 2 or 3 years.
Brad Nosek took it at the 5. He had to fight off a teammate to get it, and he falls out near the 20-yard line, which is where Wofford will start with just 55 seconds remaining in this first half. He and Ray Smith were both lining up to take that one, and Nosek came away with it. I think he said, I'm the redshirt senior here, you're the freshman, I got this.
Hey, that's what you want to see. You want to see guys with the ball in their hands. You know, everybody wants that. You want that opportunity.
Weimer in at quarterback, and the pitch on first down goes to Brian Yeoman, his first carry of the game. Weimer in at quarterback. He's a redshirt freshman from Chapin, South Carolina. Run for 257 yards and a couple of touchdowns on the year.
You know, and of the three quarterbacks, they say he's the best runner of the three. So that might be the strategy going here at halftime in this final drive.
He's 6'5". You don't see a lot of 6'5" guys run the option. This is Breitenstein up the middle. He falls forward and has the first down. That'll stop the clock with 21 seconds. Wofford has 3 timeouts remaining. And Mike Ayers is calling one. He was out on the field trying to get it, and he's not very happy that it cost him 5 seconds there. He is a little upset as they wound the clock very quickly, I think, in his mind, and he's trying to get those 5 seconds back.
Well, rightfully so. I mean, you've only got 20-some seconds left here in the first half, and you're trying to put together a drive. You've got 3 timeouts to use, and you know, he was out on the field trying to get that timeout called.
Please put 20 seconds on the game clock. 20 seconds on the game clock.
So he got 4 of the 5 back, and they've still got 2 timeouts remaining. They're a long way away from field goal range, but Casey Redfern has hit from 53 this year, so they're about 35 yards away with 20 seconds. It's going to be tough running the ball, which is what they do. They haven't thrown a pass today, but stranger things have happened. North Dakota State 14, Wofford 7, late first half. There's a look at Grant Olson having a big day already, the middle linebacker for the Bison. Weimer from the gun. It's a sweep to Johnson, and he runs out of bounds to stop the clock with 16 seconds left. Minimal gain, maybe a yard on the play.
Well, and I look that Johnson will probably get more of the carries, I think, at this point in the game. He's the faster of the two between Breitenstein and him. So if you're looking kind of for a big play in the run game, go with the guy that's a little faster, a little quicker.
They both have 8 carries on the day. 2nd and 9. Again, 16 seconds to go. Weimer going to run the option himself, and he's hit very hard. Big hit by Dudzik coming up. And the clock running under 10 seconds, and I think Wofford is going to take it to the locker room at this point.
We talk about the interior guys on defense, and we didn't really talk much about the safeties, and Christian Dudzik comes up talking about that alley when you run the option game. Does a great job from the safety position, running down the alley and taking the wheels out.
So North Dakota State, just before the half, a 97-yard touchdown drive. It has the defending national champions in front. North Dakota State 14, Wofford 7 at the half. This one, and the North Dakota State Bison, the defending FCS champion, leading Wofford 14-7 at halftime. 2 games already final in this quarterfinal round. Last night, Sam Houston State knocked off Montana State in Bozeman, and Georgia Southern has also booked a return trip to the semifinals. North Dakota State could make it 3 of the 4 returnees to the semifinals. Eastern Washington and Illinois State play later tonight. Eastern Washington, of course, won the national title 2 years ago. What's at stake in this second half? As we mentioned, the semifinal matchup with Georgia Southern, NDSU trying to go back-to-back, and Wofford has not been to the semifinals since 2003. So it's going to be a big deal for somebody if they can get out of here with a win. And again, North Dakota State in the lead, 14-7 here at the half. Mike Ayers saw his team uncharacteristically commit 5 penalties for 36 yards in the first half and turn the ball over once. We mentioned they've now lost 7 fumbles in their last 3 or 2.5 games. That's got to be a worrying sign, but other than that, his offense moved the ball at times but wasn't able to get any points on the board against this very impressive defense. And you see Eric Breitenstein is currently at 42 yards. They haven't given up a 100-yard individual rusher all year. While Breitenstein, if he can get to 100 yards, would tie the FCS record for most 100-yard games in a season. So a lot on the line for him personally, but we've heard from him before. He's all about not having the same feeling he had when they were eliminated last year.
Well, and you talk about Breitenstein and all his yardage and stuff, but I think they did a pretty smart thing going into this game. Is they used him a little bit as a decoy. Probably hasn't got the touches that he's used to. Donovan Johnson, the other running back, has picked up a little bit more of the carries. So I think that's by strategy and by design that he hasn't got as many touches, but he's going to get his now. I mean, he's pretty much the bell cow, and I believe in the second half they're going to feature him very heavily.
And you look at Breitenstein ran for 321 earlier this year against Elon. The only game this year he didn't go over 100 was the game where they blew out a Division II team and took him out of the game in the first half. They put up 80 points that day, so he could have done it in every game this year, believe me, if they had wanted him to.
I think when you beat a team by 80, it's probably a smart move to take out your best player.
It's definitely the classy thing to do. Bit of a change on the kick return. Cam Flowers is back deep for Wofford in place of Nosek, who had the last return. Flowers into the end zone, and he waits and brings it out. Don't know about that decision, and he stops short of the 20-yard line. And I mean, he basically he cost him 6 yards there.
Well, if you're going to take it out, take it out. Don't hesitate. He kind of caught the ball, wasn't quite sure if he was going to take a knee or come out. But when you're in that in-between stage, it's a few yards in the end zone, you got to have a plan, or else you're going to have something like that where you're giving up too much yardage.
The teams combined for only 9 possessions in the first half. This is Wofford's 5th of the game. And the starting quarterback, Brian Cass, is back in. Breitenstein, the fullback, in the I formation. And they're late on the give, and so Cass has to keep it himself. The timing was off there from Breitenstein to Cass. And it's going to be no gain on the play.
Well, it's just a miscommunication. Again, they kind of faked the toss, little handoff there, and I don't think Breitenstein, he wasn't even the guy that was going to get the ball, so he was going to get the pass, go up the middle, and get a block, but quarterback got turned around, and the running back got turned around as well.
2nd and 10, fake toss and a quick pass completed to Will Irwin. And he's out. He's a little short of the first down, but not by much. And that's the first pass of the game for Wofford.
Well, I wonder how that feels when you don't get your number called a lot. Nice little catch there, but as he fights for extra yardage, he gets smacked right in the face. So
he got sandwiched here.
It is a great job of Wofford coming out, maybe changing their game plan, but they might want to rethink it if their receiver's going to get hit like that.
3rd and 1. Wofford at its own 28. It's Breitenstein straight up the gut. He has the first down. He keeps churning his legs and gets to the 32 on the play.
Well, 3 times now they've ran that little fake toss action. Not really sure what that's all about. There's really nobody in the vicinity of even receiving a toss. So they're obviously in this chess game. They're trying to figure out something and trying to show something. But
here's a look at the toss.
It didn't really fool anybody, but maybe later on in the game it does.
Breitenstein up the middle again, spins forward, and it looks like there's not a lot there, and he gets 5.5 yards out of it.
You know, it's just kind of his MO. He can obviously hit the holes when they're there. He's got some big runs throughout the season where he's virtually untouched, but this guy can do it all. He can get right there, mash it up, keep his legs going, take hits, a lot of yak yardage that we talk about. So he's the complete back.
2nd and 5. It is Breitenstein again, driving forward just short of the 40-yard line. And a brief pause. There was a man down. And I think maybe a helmet came off as the officials confirmed.
You got to give this Bison defense a lot of credit, because other than the first, as we see Breitenstein going off the field,
and nobody's ready to come in for him. It's very late that the backup Brad Nosek gets out there.
Well, very bizarre to take out your best player in this situation.
His helmet came off. He had to.
I didn't see that.
He was not happy about it. He was yelling at the refs on the way off. 3rd and short. Cass keeps it himself, has a pitch man, but holds on to it and has the first down. Well done by Brian Cass.
Number 14, Brian Cass.
As Breitenstein trots back on, we get a look back at Cass's, or the helmet coming off on the previous play. And North Dakota State was arguing for it too. Travis Beck was pointing to the referee saying, hey, his helmet came off.
Well, obviously everybody knows the rules. They know how important he is. So even though the helmet just slipped off there, that's the rule for safety. You got to let the guy come out, readjust, get back on the field. So good job by North Dakota of using the rule against him.
1st and 10 for Wofford. Cass looking to throw. He's pressured, going to step up, and he's got some room to run. Breitenstein lays a block. The ball is knocked loose. Johnson tripped, and North Dakota State fell on it. Andre Martin. A huge strip and a second fumble by Cass.
That might have been the biggest punch-out I've ever seen at any level of football. That ball traveled 20-some yards after it got punched.
And it was Beck again. He forced the other fumble in the first quarter.
Well, you talked about it. That's been the Achilles heel of this Wofford offense, is turn the ball over too much in these last few games. And Travis Beck, once again, we talk about Charles Tillman in the NFL with this peanut punch, and I tell you what, I think guys around here are going to have to give Beck a little nickname with the amount of strips he's caused.
So Travis Beck may be nominated for Sports Center with that punch out. Poor Donovan Johnson, the ball came right to him and he fell down. It would have been a big gain for Wofford if he had been able to come up with it. Now North Dakota State with the ball, the place quiets down, and the Bison going to try and control the clock here. Running play on 1st down. It's Ojuri across the 20. Gain of about 3 on the play. Very muted applause. Yeah, they stay so quiet.
It turns into a golf match when the offense is on the field. It's like, yay, we got a good play, but let's just keep it still quiet. So it's very fun to see a crowd that's so into the game and has the awareness that this crowd has.
So 2nd and 7 for North Dakota State. They've forced 2 turnovers now, and both of them have really killed Wofford momentum. Pass here, and wide open is Oakland outside, and Stephon Shelton hits him, but Andrew Oakland has the 1st down from right here in Fargo, South High School.
And those are the type of plays when you're going to drop back and pass that you have to take advantage of. Wofford kind of plays a soft zone. The corner is playing very deep. They don't play a lot of man-to-man, so you're not going to see a lot of press corners. So if they're going to give you that much cushion, take those opportunities when you can.
You see, when they're on offense, not very loud. I'm surprised it's even that high in here at the moment. Over 100, of course, when the other team has the ball. Ojuri has running room outside. Zotto lines him up, and he's down right at the 1st down marker, but a flag flies in, and we'll see which way it goes. I think it might be a hold against North Dakota State downfield. We'll wait for the call.
Holding number 87 on the offense. That penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. 10 yards, still be 1st down.
So the hold was downfield. It'll come back 10 yards from that spot. Oakland called for the penalty, and it'll be 1st and 12 for North Dakota State. And that clock continues to roll. I know it's so early, it's weird to be talking about time of possession, but Wofford needs time to score. They're a slow developing team against North Dakota State. The Bison are going to milk the clock for everything they can.
And they do it very well. I mean, they have a balanced attack, run, pass, and they're very efficient at it, and obviously well-executed team.
Quick toss. After a brief stumble, it's caught, and Nate Moody gets out to the 33-yard line.
And he takes a lick as well. Watch 46 Bratcher at the end of this play.
He said
he absolutely hammers him, and he felt it as he kind of took a second there, as he takes another second with his hands on his knees trying to collect his breath.
Moody, a walk-on out of Dickinson. He's able to smile at least. It's because he got yards on the play.
Yeah, there was a smile or a grimace, I'm not sure.
2nd and 7. Ojuri hit in the backfield, and LeGrand able to slow him down, but a good job by Ojuri to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and a really good job by LeGrand there as they pulled two offensive linemen, and he just sneaks in right behind him. Nobody picks him up again, and this is a couple times now where LeGrand has been unblocked, and he's playing with instinct. That's the thing he's doing right now. He's playing with instinct, and he's playing it very well.
Today, North Dakota State 2 of 5 on third down. It's a 3rd and 6 here. Brock Jensen, the quarterback, will go from the shotgun. He's 7 for 11 through the air today. Looking downfield, it's overthrown and incomplete in the direction of Kevin Vodlin, the tight end. That's going to bring up 4th down, and Wofford's defense may have held.
Yeah, very good job by Wofford's defense coming out, stopping this offense. I mean, like you said, the time of possession is something that North Dakota State uses to their advantage, and Wofford needs to get a stop if they want to stay in this ball game, and they got it.
Ben LeCompte, the punter. Brad Nosek back deep to return. LeCompte gets it away, stays on his feet. Nosek calls for a fair catch and makes it at the 18-yard line. It'll be a 48-yard kick for LeCompte, and Wofford will take over at the Terriers' own 18-yard line. North Dakota State 14, Wofford 7. Terriers will get it back when we come back, down by 7 in the FCS quarterfinals. Back here at the Fargo Dome, North Dakota State 14, Wofford 7. And there's the starting quarterback from Wofford, Brian Cass. 2 fumbles today, now ice on his knee. And the backup, Michael Weimer, in the game. He's going to run it on 1st down, pitches. Flag comes in as Yeoman is tackled, but you have a feeling the flag is not in Wofford's favor. So they've had banged up quarterbacks, and they give reps to all 3 in practice for exactly this reason.
Yeah.
Illegal shift, number 33 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
6th penalty against Wofford today. But there's Cass on the sideline. They've got guys who have got game minutes this year who can step in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great problem to have. Not only have 2 good running backs, but they've got 3 really good quarterbacks. And when you run an offense like this, where it's triple option and the quarterback's been taking a lot of hits, as you can see there with ice all over his body, that you've got to have guys that can play behind you.
1st and 15. It's Breitenstein up the middle. Falls forward for a couple. But they're going to need to start getting him untracked for a few bigger gains as this half goes on. Very tough to come from behind in this offense. It's only a touchdown right now, but Wofford has started the last 4 drives inside its own 20. As you look at Grant Olson, the outstanding middle linebacker for North Dakota State, his career high in tackles today, a lot of them assisted tackles. But his coach, Craig Bull, was very complimentary of him before the game.
Yeah, the guy plays with great instincts, and the thing I love about, like we talked about earlier, only 7 seniors, this guy's a junior. So as well as he's playing, he's going to have another year here with the Bison.
Johnson stopped at the line of scrimmage, hit there by Brian Schatz, the redshirt freshman from Denmark, Wisconsin. And it's going to be 3rd and long. Not a lot going this series on the option.
And you can see now it's 3rd and 12, and everybody, the crowd is getting on their feet. You're going to start to see that decibel meter get cranked up over 100.
Weimer running the option, wanted to pitch, couldn't do it. Olson was right there, as was, beg your pardon, it was Olson who had the first hit. And now Weimer limps off, another quarterback injury for Wofford.
Well, it's a great job of just stringing this play out. And Danny Lukey fights off the block, just lowers his shoulder and gets upfield to make the stop. And in doing so, looks like he took out Weimer as he limped off the field. He's wearing that knee brace, and he's kind of limping on the same leg.
Casey Redfern's punt bounces into NDSU territory and is run out of bounds at around the 46. And that's where North Dakota State will take over, but the Wofford medical staff, a lot more activity than they want. James Lawson may be in the game when we come back. North Dakota State 14, Wofford 7. We're back after this. Back here in Fargo, North Dakota. It is North Dakota State 14, Wofford 7. And all the momentum going in North Dakota State's favor right now. Up 7 with the ball in good field position at their own 41. Jonathan Yardley, Ben Lieber with you from the Fargo Dome. It is packed. It is sold out. They haven't had maybe as much to cheer about as they're used to, but the Bison still in control at the moment. Derek Lang, the third running back into the game, gets his first carry and is bottled up at the 42 after a gain of 1.
And I don't think anybody should be totally surprised by this score. I mean, we talk about North Dakota State's defense, ranked #1 basically in every category you can imagine. But Wofford's very good as well, and they play in a tough conference down there in the Southern Conference, and so we knew it was going to be a defensive battle. So 14-7 is pretty much, I think, on par what we expected. And right now, hats off to the Bison defense. They've really stepped up and taken this Wofford running attack and kind of shoved them back.
4 wide receivers in the game for the Bison. Jensen looks left, has Vodlin, the tight end, and he's hit immediately by Ciano. Short of the first down, but it brings up 3rd and a manageable 4 for North Dakota State.
And that's the thing with this Wofford defense, is they don't like to play a lot of man-to-man, so they get very predictable that they're going to play zone. So if you can get a read, as they did there, that they're going to be in zone, they got 2 high safety, you already know pre-snap exactly where your holes are going to be in the open zone. So if they choose to start throwing the ball here, I think they can dink and dunk it all the way down the field.
Lang, the tailback, alongside Jensen on 3rd and 4. Jensen looked short. Ciano picked it up. Now he goes outside and has Vra for the first down on the Wofford side of midfield, right at the first down marker. We'll see if they give it to him with the spot. And they do give the first down to North Dakota State.
And a really good job by the offensive line there. They brought a blitz off the offensive right side, and everybody picks everything up. There's a body on a body. He can step back and not feel pressured and deliver a strike.
I don't know if it was the route design, but Vra did well to keep moving and get open after the initial look by Jensen. They run the play clock down under 5. And give it to Crockett running right. He's got a hole and has a good gain. E.J. Speller, the nose tackle, ended up trying to catch him as he went by and making the play.
And if you've been watching throughout the game, whenever Crockett comes in, compare him to Ojuri, they have very similar stats, but you can see the burst that he has. He's more of a slashing type of running back. So he saw the hole, everything was going to the right, saw the hole open up, stuck his foot in the ground and got north and south, and he does it very quickly and very fast.
2nd and 4, and again, North Dakota State doesn't get to the line until the play clock is at 10. They will control that clock all the way to Frisco, Texas if they can. It's play action this time. Jensen goes outside, catch is made, and it's a first down catch again for Zach Groff.
And a good job with the play action fake, but even still, it's just a 2-man route on the outside. They pretty much max protect underneath, and they do a good job of Raw sticking his foot in the ground. Defender kept sinking as he's playing that deep 3rd zone, and then a great little pickup. And again, he's doing a good job of sticking his foot in the ground, coming back to the football. Nice fundamentals at the receiver core.
4 catches for 41 yards for Vra, as the Bison have 1st and 10. Again, the play clock to 1 before they snap it. It's Crockett running left, stopped in the backfield, but he jitterbugged his way through and it's still going. Loses the ball. Stephon Shelton has it for Wofford. Huge play in this game.
Wow, what a turn of events this is going to be. Crockett does all the work that he needs to do. He shows off his athleticism, his quick feet, shows you why he has all those yards. And I don't even think he got it punched out. I think he just lost the handle on it. And Wofford recovers, so missed opportunity by the Bison right there as they're driving down the field. As we take a look at it again, he just lost the football. So great job of doing all that work, making guys miss, showing off how talented you are, but you got to hold on to that football.
On the Wofford sideline, it is the third-string quarterback, James Lawson, a redshirt sophomore from Pickens, South Carolina, where his quarterback coach was Sam Weiss, so that's decent background. And he started several games, including the playoff win last week, so he's very experienced, even at number 3. Breitenstein up the middle, breaks one for Wofford, and tries to go right through Williams and goes deep into North Dakota State territory near the 42-yard line, his biggest run of the game.
Well, there's no need to know how well your quarterback's going to play when you can just hand the ball off. Once again, gets a great block by TJ White coming around the edge, and that's all he needs. Again, he's using his blocks, setting them up very well. He's very patient runner. Waits for his pulling guards to come and make those little trap blocks, cuts off their backside, gets north and south quick, and again, shows off some speed that he doesn't look like he has.
Little pistol formation there, and Breitenstein is held to maybe a yard. His patience almost hurt him when he got into the open field there. He was waiting for a block that didn't come.
He was waiting for that block, and sometimes receivers are kind of caught in no man's land, not sure where to put their leverage, where to put their hat, so the running back can just cut off him. But I think if you had to do it all over again, just put a hat on the guy and let the running back use his vision to cut off you.
2nd and 9 as this crowd tries to help the Bison defense stiffen. Lawson fakes the give. It's Flowers who gets the ball, and he is locked up in the backfield. Jurek ended up making the tackle after initial penetration from Ryan Drevlo.
A really good job by Drevlo of just swimming the offensive tackle, using his hands, using his awareness, getting that lateral speed outside, and then closing back on the running back.
3rd and 11 here, but remember, Wofford is definitely in 4-down territory for them. So they don't need to get all 11 on this play. They want to get 7 or 8 here if they can. Lawson from the shotgun. Leaves it with Breitenstein. He dodged one tackle, but only got to the 40-yard line. It'll bring up 4th and 8 in a very in-between range here. And remember, the quarterback who punts, Cass, is on the sideline. Lawson has not kicked one this year.
And for that reason, I think you just have to go back to what they know how to do best, and that's run the football.
3rd and 8, will we see the option? By the way, Breitenstein is over 100 yards for the moment, which, if he can stay over 100, will tie an FCS single-season record. 4th down, they're going to throw. Lawson rolls, throws to Breitenstein. He has the first down for Wofford.
And what an outstanding play call there. Don't ask your 3rd-string quarterback to come in and try to break down a defense and drop back and try to make a tough throw. Just get your playmaker rolled out, get your running back, who is the heart and soul of this offense, get him out in the open, throw the ball to him and see what he can do.
Only his 3rd catch of the entire season. They give it to Breitenstein up the middle, dives across the 20. And again, it doesn't look like much, but he just picked up 4 yards. That's going to do it on the 3rd quarter. Back and forth we go. No points, but boy, was it entertaining. North Dakota State still has a 14-7 lead, but Eric Breitenstein and Wofford are on the move. Stay with us right after this. 2 very good defenses on display in this FCS quarterfinal. North Dakota State 14, Wofford 7 as we start the 4th quarter. Wofford with its 3rd-string quarterback, 2nd down at the 20. It's Breitenstein, the fullback, and this time he's stopped for virtually no gain at the 20, and it'll bring up 3rd down and about 7 for the Wofford Terriers.
And as we were talking in the break, you got to think that they have to kick the ball here if they don't get this first down, correct? Or
if they get inside 4 yards, I think they go for it. Yeah. It's a big decision for Mike Ayers. Lawson, the quarterback. He keeps it on the option and dives. He's short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and a long 3, and this is a tough decision. This is exactly what we talked about. It's in their nature to go for it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they've gone for more 4th downs than I've ever seen any other team, and this is no exception. They're going to go for it again right here.
Wow. Fourth and 3. Lawson with the pitch to Nosek. He dives. He's near the first down.
Did he get it?
Wait for the spot. He's got the first down. First down, Wofford. What a call and what a play by Brad Nosek, the senior from Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania.
What a call and what a pitch and catch.
That's a dangerous pitch.
Outstanding timing right there for the 3rd-string quarterback to wait to the last second, takes the shot.
Now they're at the 13. You got to take advantage of that and find the end
conversion.
Breitenstein up the middle, avoids one, dives inside the 10. He's so good at making the first man miss.
Well, he's so good at just giving you different angles to hit at. I mean, he's a big guy. I think he probably surprises a lot of defenders once you play him in person about how quick his feet can be and how you just can't get a clean hit on him.
2nd and 6. Can Wofford get in the end zone and tie the game? Early 4th quarter. Breitenstein again hit hard by the middle of the North Dakota State defense. He did get a gain on the play, though.
And that's you don't see this very often during this game, that Breitenstein just gets stood up. Great defensive play, great hit.
Anthony Lavoie, normally
that's
an
how you have
offensive
to
lineman.
play this defense.
He's normally an offensive lineman. He's in there on the defensive side at one of the tackles.
Keep him there. Don't put him back on offense.
3rd and 4. Lawson early pitch to Johnson. He's caught behind the line. Taken down there, and it's another 4th down coming up. The Wofford sideline wanted a face mask, didn't get the call.
Man, oh man, can this defense play when it is back, it's up against the wall.
And now they're going to have to kick.
Great job by Dudzik again. It's the 2nd time now. He's ran that alley with great angles, great pursuit, huge stop.
26-yard attempt for Casey Redfern. You don't know if they'll get another chance this close, but they're going to take the points here. Redfern's kick is no good. And Wofford comes away with nothing.
Wow. Absolute game changer right there.
We'll take a break and take a look at the attempt. When we come back, Redfern couldn't convert, and North Dakota State still leads by 7. Back here at the Fargo Dome, 14-7, North Dakota State leads. We go back to the field goal attempt by Casey Redfern, and we think it gets tipped.
As you can see there, I think Lavoie, number 63, comes in, who had a huge defensive stop early in the series. You see them celebrating. What a game changer as Wofford was going for 3 points there.
Great camera work by our guys to get that tip. It was we could tell the ball wasn't flying the way it was supposed to, but
I knew it kind of finished funny, but I couldn't tell if it actually got tipped.
Jury's carry for North Dakota State. He dives forward for about 3. This is a huge possession right here, as there's a Wofford player down. Looks like it may be Roseboro, the defensive end, who's down. Wofford is not going to get the ball back very often with the way North Dakota State controls the clock, and they're not a super big play offense.
No.
They can't afford to give up points or even too many first downs here.
No, they really can't, and this is where North Dakota State, with the way their offense is designed, this is where they come to shine. And you're only going to get probably maybe 2 more possessions if you're Wofford.
Maybe 2.
And that's kind of a stretch. So, and you have to be a quick strike, which they're not. But obviously with the run game, they do have some big playability, so it's not out of the question. But if North Dakota State can drive down the field right here on this possession and just get 3 points, it's going to be awfully tough for the Terriers to come back.
They'd probably have to involve an onside kick, I would think, at that point.
Right. It's going to be desperation. You have to open it up and start throwing the football, and it's going to be very tough.
They're not going to open it up and start throwing the football. Well, I had this argument last week covering Sam Houston State and Cal Poly. Cal Poly was not going to throw. They did score on a halfback pass, but I don't know if Wofford has that in the playbook. Second down, play action for Jensen. He had Vra open, goes outside, and the catch is made by Oakland. He bobbled it a little, but held on for the first down.
Nice job by Brock as he rolls out. It's a designed rollout here that cuts off the field. It's only a two-man route. Goes to his first threat. Vra wasn't there. Comes back, and Oakland is there off a late break. And again, this receiver corps does a really good job of sticking their foot in the ground and coming back to the football. That's making the difference on some of these throws.
North Dakota State out to the 31-yard line. And the clock moving. Those linemen have to hold their stances an awfully long time in this offense.
That's a thigh burn right there.
Jury running left. Big hit in the backfield. It was Zotto coming up to make the hit. I beg your pardon, it was Holt who made the hit in the backfield for Wofford, and a big loss.
Well, it's a great hit, but if you look right here, Bonnet just absolutely whiffs as the lead blocker. He's got to come over there with his eyes up and expect that somebody's going to be there on the edge, and he whiffs in a TFL for Wofford.
Zotto, one of the leading tacklers for the Terriers today, as he has been most of the year, a junior from Libertyville, Illinois. Play clock under 10 yet again on 2nd and long. It's O'Jury straight up the middle, and the defense down to hit him again with Holt leading the way.
And if you're Wofford, this is exactly what you want. 3rd and long situation on a key possession where you need to get a stop. So they set themselves up nicely to try to get the ball back in their offense's hands and not have to go to a quick strike offense.
4 wide receivers in the game for North Dakota State. And again,
do you think they're looking for Vra again?
Yeah, I'm about to say, Vra is at the top of the screen. 3 wide receivers and a tight end, as it turns out, with Vodlin in tight to the line.
And he's lined up again on Wiley, who had the pick 6 earlier on.
Play action. They want to dump the screen down to Oakland. He spins out of 1 tackle, but can't avoid the 2nd. And the tackle made by Philip LeGrand again, and Wofford forces a punt.
Well, I like the design of the play. You think it's going to be a quick screen out to the left, but great job by Mike McCrimmon, the middle linebacker, number 57, of just staying home and realizing that I can't go out and I can't be a difference maker on that big screen over there, so I'm going to sit home, do my job. He comes up with a big stop.
LeCompte gets the punt away. Nosek, fair catch again, makes it at the 29-yard line. It's a 39-yard punt from LeCompte. And Wofford will start in its own territory. The Terriers down 7, but with the ball, they'll have a chance to make a drive when we come back. Back here at the Fargo Dome, North Dakota State still leading Wofford 14-7. And we look at the Walter Payton Award finalists. Eric Breitenstein, of course, in this game. A big game, over 2,000 yards. Taylor Heineke from Old Dominion threw for 421 and 3 touchdowns, but lost earlier. Miguel Masonette from Stony Brook already out of the postseason. That'll be awarded in a couple of weeks. Right now, Wofford with the ball at its own 30. Play action. Lawson's pass is caught across midfield. Jeff Ashley with the grab for a first down and a big gain.
Wow. Just when you didn't think that they're going to throw the football, they're a run-first offense. Lawson comes out and delivers an absolute strike over the middle.
Fingertips.
And Ashley with a huge catch. That was put exactly where the receiver could only get the ball. He makes a great catch. I tell you what, you got to keep your hands pretty warm and limber in this offense because you're not going to get a lot of opportunities, but great job by him and great catch.
Wofford quarterbacks are 3 out of 3 today, and they're going to throw again. Lawson looking for the tight end. It is incomplete and almost picked off by the corner, Andre Martin. They were targeting Michael Harp, but there is a flag on the play in the area of holding.
Before the snap, timeout, Wofford.
Oh.
First charge timeout at the half.
So that play never happened. And Wofford is glad of it as they get their first timeout here in the fourth quarter with 8:08 to go. And we'll take the timeout with them. But Wofford down 7 in enemy territory. We'll see if they can tie it up when we come back. Back here at the Fargo Dome, North Dakota State 14, Wofford 7. A reminder, the 2012 NCAA Division I Football Championship continues next weekend with the semifinals Saturday, December 15th. The games all be available on ESPN3 and Watch ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com, the official online home for all 89 NCAA championships. Wofford with it safely, 1st and 10. They give to Breitenstein, and he falls forward for a gain of 4. Garrett Olson credited with yet another tackle or assist on the play. He's over 20 when you add assisted tackles and unassisted tackles for the day.
It's impressive to watch him run sideline to sideline. He's the guy that the coaches just love having. He's watching film all the time, puts a ton of time in, really cares about his craft, and he's out here with 20-plus tackles. That might have been his 22nd of the day.
2nd and 6. Johnson had to hurry to avoid the snap. They pitch it to Breitenstein. He stays on his feet and gets the first down to the 30-yard line. What a play by the Walter Payton Award finalist. And he comes up holding that hamstring and going to be off the field.
Well, I think it took a shot right there in the elbow and probably hit his funny bone. But again, he makes all of his yards usually between the tackles, but you can see just his balance, his athleticism. He can take the ball to the perimeter and take shots like that, absorb shots and keep going.
You're right. I thought he was holding his hamstring. I think he was holding his arm down. Wofford hopes he'll be back in there. Right now it's Johnson, the fullback. They pitch it to Brian Yeoman. He turns it forward and makes sure he holds onto the football down to the 21.
You're absolutely right. With the way this game's been going, really the keys, the turnovers that Wofford's had, they've been able to drive a little bit on this defense, and they fumbled the football. So now they're in this critical, they're almost to the red zone. If you have any sort of traffic, you're telling your guys, put two hands on that football, you know, Tom Rathman style back in the day,
yes,
where you just never really take 2 hands off the ball.
Breitenstein is back in the game. It's 2nd and short. We'll see if they take any chances or try and go up the middle. All Breitenstein dives forward close to the first down. He might not have gotten it, but if he fell short, it was not by much.
Like, I think Drevlo, the guy in the tackles, kind of figured something out finally in this game, that the way to bring this guy down is just grab his foot and don't let go. You can try to hit the guy in the shoulders, you can hit the guy at the waist, you can hit the guy in the knees, he just doesn't go down. But Drevlo just, I'm going to corral you with him, lasso you, just grab your feet.
He snuck under everybody to bring him down. It's Breitenstein. It's a first down for Wofford, and he's down to the 15. Not a lot of drama on that one, despite the best efforts of this crowd.
No, but look at that offensive line. We haven't talked much about them other than in the beginning of the game. 3rd and short, you know it's going to be another run. You know it's going to be up the middle. And they just continue to get that push on this defensive line and this front 7 that's the best in the country.
They're at the 14. They can get a first down at the NDSU 4. Lawson, the 3rd quarterback of the day for Wofford. Gives to Breitenstein. He's hit hard, and he still falls forward to pick up a couple. It was Brian Schatz, one of the men there on the tackle.
Well, I think in this situation, you got to tell your defensive ends, listen, guys, let's not feather this quarterback and do all this fancy option responsibility. If you're free, just attack downhill, because more than likely they're going to give it to Breitenstein.
Carlton Littlejohn had the first hit on that play, along with Schatz. They pitch to Nosek. Defense runs with it. Nosek cuts inside and got to the 11, but it's going to be 3rd and about 7.
And I love how this defense, once it gets into the red zone, you can just see it kind of ratchet up. They play so much tighter. They play so much more aggressive. And when you can get your safeties to not have to bail out back in the end zone because they're up against the end zone. They can really play aggressively downhill, and that's what makes this defense so good in the red zone.
4:20 to go. You have to think Wofford is in 4-down territory all the way here. It's 3rd down right now. Lawson keeps the ball himself, keeps going, and gets close enough for them to think about going for it. It's going to be 4th and 3.
Well, that's the second, if not the 3rd time where they've ran this kind of ghost motion, and they almost hit the guy on the snap. So I think in this critical situation, if you're going to make that play call again, just stop with the ghost motion. Right now, you're not getting the timing down. You cannot have a situation where that hits the player and you fumble the football.
Well, this is the game. 4th and 3. Lawson to Donovan Johnson, driving forward. He's stopped short. The Bison defense does it again.
Is that Travis Beck? I know that Grant Olson's had a lot of tackles today, and he's been fun to watch. But Travis Beck with a huge stop right here. He caused a fumble early in the game. It's a big-time play on a big-time defense. That's what makes these guys so good, is they have playmakers that can step up at critical points in the game, fill the hole.
Looks like TJ White from Wofford ran right by the linebacker who ended up making the tackle. So North Dakota State with it at its own 6, trying to kill this one off. Jensen, quarterback draw. Wofford at the hold of the jersey, and they finally bring him down. That was Josh Roseborough just grabbing on and holding on.
Now, if you're Wofford on the flip side, you got to be telling your defensive players, all right, let's hold the players up and start stripping and try to get that ball out. As we see Grant Olson, 27 tackles on the day. What a special player.
Breaking a school record set in 1989.
He definitely deserved a drink of water there for how active he has been at that middle linebacker spot. 2nd
and short for North Dakota State. Its top-ranked defense has not allowed a touchdown today. The only Wofford points came on an interception return for a touchdown. The give goes to Crockett running left. He's got some space, has the 1st down, and is out across the 20. But Ben, we'll take a look at this one as Crockett finally found some room outside.
You know, another good job by this offensive line. They pull a guy to the outside of the perimeter, and they get a hat on a hat. They make sure that they get a body on a body, and using Crockett's speed and his vision, very easy to pick up that 1st down, although I think they would wish that he would just stay in bounds there.
Clock running anyway, though, after they reset the chains, as we near the 2-minute mark in this ball game. O'Jury back in at tailback. Jensen thinks about optioning. He's pulled down and taken down by McCrimmon, well behind the line, and Wofford calls its 2nd timeout. Mike Ayers sprinted down the sideline to get that called. We'll take the timeout with them. Wofford down 7, trying to get the ball back late in the 4th quarter, trying to find their way back to the FCS semifinals. North Dakota State 14, Wofford 7. Back here in North Dakota, the Bison of North Dakota State leading Wofford 14-7, thanks largely to their defense. They have been overwhelming in the playoffs. This was the 4th down stop, and they have a streak going. The defense of not allowing a touchdown since last year's semifinals. 13 full quarters. It'll be 14 if they can get through this. Meanwhile, kind of a good defense. You compare them to Alabama, they rank in the FCS for North Dakota State and the FBS for Alabama.
Well, comparatively speaking, I mean, they're better. I mean, there's ones all the way down that left side. You look at Alabama, they had 18 and a 7 in there.
I think Nick Saban might have something to say about that. 2nd and 16 for North Dakota State. They go play action again, and it's a throwback to the tight end Vodland, and he's taken down back near the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and long. And Wofford uses its final timeout.
And they had a great setup. They pump it to the right, they set up the screen to the left. I think if it was anybody other than the tight end that was a little bit quicker, it would have been a ball that could have gotten out the gate. But a lot of credit to Stephen Shelton, who's on the ground right now, as he took a shot, bounces back up, and actually helps make the play and waits for the pursuit to come inside out. So great individual effort by Shelton.
You saw some of the history there. North Dakota State, plenty of Division II national championships, and their first in the FCS level last year. Meanwhile, Wofford is discussing if they can get their timeout back since there's the injury to Shelton. Mike Ayers discussing it with the referee at the moment. And we'll see what the outcome of that is. It looked like they had already signaled for it, but we haven't heard it announced by the officials yet. And so Wofford's still with one timeout listed on the scoreboard here. And it's going to be 3rd and long when we resume for North Dakota State, which could give Wofford the ball back with maybe a minute 10 left, a minute left. They're still all options, so it's going to be tough for them to get yardage. They may need a big return.
You know, and we talked all this game about the big storyline was NDSU's defense. And again, Wofford, you got to give them a lot of credit. They've been in these situations late in the 4th quarter where defensively, you're telling your guys, we have to get a stop. You have to get the ball back in our offense's hands just to give us a chance. And NDSU's offense, they're no pushover. I mean, they're very good offense. They can grind you out, very balanced. So, you know, what a treat we're getting to watch. Two very good defenses late in the game. Both of them stepping up. Wofford now on another critical 3rd and long situation, and they could get the ball back here again late in the 4th quarter with a chance to tie this game up.
So Shelton is off, and it looks like Wofford will not be charged with that timeout. And that's very critical. One timeout remaining. They are going to run the clock, though, after the injury. So Wofford will let it run here and presumably call timeout after this next play. Mike Ayers is not happy about it on the Wofford sideline, pacing back and forth.
You know, I could see a couple things on this play. Either a quick pass to Ryan Smith, kind of their guy in the slot that really does a good job of running after the catch, or some sort of another screen or draw type of play, which is very, very traditional, I guess, in this down and distance.
Smith actually not in there. We haven't really seen him in this second half. No further word on that. As the play clock goes under 5. Jensen going to take off on a draw again. Wofford brings him down, and now Wofford will use its final timeout with 56 seconds remaining. They should get the ball back.
Timeout. Wofford. That's their last charge timeout.
After the punt, the winner will take on Georgia Southern next week. A reminder, North Dakota State and Georgia Southern met in last year's semifinals in this building, and the Bison ran all over them 35-7. They shut down that rushing attack, and for the most part, they've shut down Wofford's today. They've let them drive inside the 20, but not let them in the end zone.
Well, you know, you look at the numbers, and I think in some more traditional games, you would sit there and say that Wofford's done really well running the football. But when you're an offense that only passes 5 to maybe 10 times a game, you're going to get your yardage. So this Bison defense has really played outstanding today. They've stepped up. Yes, they've given up some chunk yardage here and there, but they've done a great job of stopping the run and leading this football game 14-7.
They've been led by Grant Olson, the junior from Plymouth, Minnesota, former wrestler in high school as well, and he has been just about everywhere in this game.
Yeah, that middle linebacker position, he was going to be a key feature, stopping the runs on the inside between the tackles, but we've seen a lot of his contributions out on the edge.
The punt takes a Wofford bounce back near the 42-yard line, which is where Wofford will start with 49 seconds to play.
First and 10 for Wofford College at their own 42-yard.
And the crowd on its feet welcoming the defense back to the field, trying to seal this one. There is Olson with the school record for tackles today. Does Wofford have enough passing plays to get downfield in 49 seconds with no timeouts?
Well, we saw him break out with the big pass play the last drive, so it's possible.
Lawson, the quarterback. Straight drop. Dumps it down to the tight end, Harp. He does not have a first down. The clock will keep running. Wofford hurries to the line. 35 seconds. Quick out, and receiver Irwin wasn't ready for it. It's incomplete. It'll be third down. The clock, of course, does stop with 23 seconds to go.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can see when you're a run-first offense and you don't pass the ball that much on timing patterns like that one was, chemistry's just a little off, and especially you get your third-string quarterback in there.
Wofford quarterbacks are 4 of 5 now passing today. That was their first incompletion. Fake the draw, pressured. He throws it to Breitenstein, and he's hit, and that is going to run the clock most of the way down. 13 seconds and counting.
They got to hurry up and get back to the line and just try a desperation throw here.
6 seconds.
Just get the ball off.
They do get the play off. Lawson throws downfield to Harp. He's looking for a teammate. He doesn't have one, and the North Dakota State defense stands tall again. 14 quarters for the Bison D without allowing an offensive touchdown in the FCS playoffs, and they're headed back to the semifinals for the second straight year. What a performance, Ben, from this defense.
Yeah, we talked about it before the game. We talked about it during the game, and we're going to talk about it again after the game. You got to give a game ball to the whole defensive staff, those players. They stepped up against a Wofford offense that was number 2 in the country in rushing. They faced a very good running back last week in Zenner at South Dakota State. They take Breitenstein. They contain him a little bit under his average, but fantastic when they needed to be fantastic in the red zone. Big key stops on third down and fourth down. So hats off to this Bison defense and this Bison team.
The amazing career of Eric Breitenstein does come to an end tonight as North Dakota State advances to the semifinals. They will take on Georgia Southern next week. A rematch of last year's semifinals. Sam Houston State, which played NDSU in the final last year, is also in the semis. Eastern Washington and Illinois State coming up in just a few minutes on ESPN3 will give us our final semifinalist. That's going to do it for us from Fargo, North Dakota. For our entire crew, for my partner Ben Lieber, I'm Jonathan Yardley saying so long from Fargo. The final score, North Dakota State 14, Wofford 7. To watch the entire game on replay as well as other games on our family of networks, go to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. North Dakota State still on track to defend its title. So long from Fargo.